If you're tired of hearing the same old basic mindset and motivational fluff talk, you've come to the right show. Welcome to ProjectME with Tiffany Carter, the podcast, where we dish on everything from managing that crazy brain of yours to manifesting abundance to my straightforward, actionable steps that will make you major money online. Now, I'm not your typical multimillionaire entrepreneur. It takes a small village to keep my anxiety and depression in check. I'm inherently disorganized with an intense obsession with office supplies. Your girl here is a digital marketing content expert who's generated over $200 million in sales. I promise by tuning in twice a week, you will get a much needed refreshing dose of truth, clarity, and cash-making advice. Now let's get to it. My posse, my fellow crazies. I'm your host, Tiffany Carter, and today is another mini money manifesting boost episode. These are designed for you to binge and to go back and listen to again and again and again. Anytime you end up back in fear, in scarcity, in I can't do this, what's going to happen? I'm not making money. I don't know what to do. Something needs to change. And all that crap that circles around in your mind. Go binge these. I put in brackets at the front of each of the episodes, mini money manifesting boosts, so it's easy for you to find them. Today is mastering the art of manifestation with my alone time practice. But first, I have something to read to you that you're meant to hear, because I was meant to hear it, and I'm paying it forward by sharing it with you. This is from a daily reader of a book that was recommended to me by a dear friend in my recovery program, because one of my addictions that I've worked really hard on managing, recovering from, well, two of them, workaholism and exercise addiction. And this book is Meditations for Women Who Do Too Much. This applies to men as well. It's by Ann Wilson. If you want the link to this great daily reader, you can DM me on Instagram at ProjectME with Tiffany. I trust my gut when I come here to speak to you. And it was like, oh, go grab and see what today's reading is, because this goes along with this practice that you're teaching them. And there's something in there today. And I trusted it, even though it required me to get my lazy ass up off of my podcasting chair. And here it goes. Doors. I have become my own version of an optimist. If I can't make it through one door, I'll go through another, or I'll make a door. Something terrific will come no matter how dark the present. That's by the famous Joan Rivers. That's the quote at the top. When we are speeding around like those automobile ads on TV, so busy that we dare not look up, we don't have much time for seeing doors. Even if we catch a glimpse of a possible door, we are well past it by the time our mind registers that it may have been a door. Could it be that our life is more difficult than it needs to be because we are unable to see the doors of opportunity that are presented to us every day? Could it be that we've fallen prey to the habit of constant rushing to such an extent that we don't know how to slow down? Could it be that we are actually afraid of slowing down? Are we afraid that if we slowed down and actually saw one of those doors and went through it, that we would have even more work and not less? We could miss an opportunity to do something we had wanted to do for a long time. We might not notice the opportunity to do something nice for someone. We could miss that essential piece of information that would make all the pieces fall together. Can we trust that if we slow down enough to see and explore the doors of our lives, that something terrific will come? You know, I love a good analogy. And it's so true. We're constantly moving and going and doing and pushing and forcing. And if that's not working for you, if you're feeling exhausted, you're broke, the money's not flowing, it's not fun, you're resenting your business, you don't like your life set up, you don't have, fuck you money, you don't have freedom cash, you don't have the options, you're not happy, you're discontent, you're cunty, you're any of those things, you're likely in this spot where you're doing all the things, you're forcing your self-will, it's giving you some kind of an illusion of control that if I just do this, if I do this, if I need to do this, I should do this, da 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 da. God, you're putting it all on yourself. I mean, I did the same thing and I can slip into that really quickly, which is why I understand what you're doing. It's dangerous, it's even deadly, and it's costly because you're burning the candle at both ends. You're exhausting yourself. That energy is a repelling energy. You're going to end up in scarcity. You're going to repel the exact abundance that you're wanting to call in, whether that's abundance of money, abundance of friendships, community, support, opportunities, love, connection, spirit. You're snuffing it all out. You're suffocating it with doing too much. One of the most overlooked and deadly addictions, you guys, it's not the alcohol, the pills, gambling, even food addictions. Okay, those are kind of obvious ones. But there's a widespread addiction that is likely slowly killing you right now. It's causing you stress, suffering, financial, relationship, and major quality of life issues. And damn, it is cunning. The addiction of doing too much, the addiction to always doing instead of simply being. Our egos and society programming, social media manipulate us into feeling like we aren't doing enough. So if we just do more, be more productive, get more crap done, follow through with the should, start now, achieve this, make this happen, then we will achieve our desired result, whatever that is, whether it's happiness, success, significance, appreciation. You know, if I just didn't eat my hint of lime Tostitos and Ben & Jerry's and got my shit together, you know, I would be 10 pounds thinner. And then I would end up attracting someone who truly loved me and saw me for me and was super passionate and attracted to me. And I need to do this and I need to stop doing this and da 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 da. God, that's so much pressure we put on ourselves. It's just one example. I'm making it all on me, all on me. And I know there's a lot of messaging out there and quotes out there. It all starts with you. You're the common denominator of your life. I'm not saying that's not true, but there's too much emphasis on it. On me, I must, I have, I should, I need, How about, where's the balance of the allowing? Where's the balance of allowing spirit, of allowing universe, of allowing gods, of allowing angels, of allowing the energy of nature? Where is the balance of allowing, of doing it? You're not in balance. If you are resonating with this right now and you're going, holy shit, that I know I'm in that. Yeah, you're not in balance. You are doing and not allowing enough, because it does give us some illusion of control, and it almost scratches an itch if you're wired at all like me. Because it's like, well, look, I got that done. I got that accomplished. I got that done. I'm winning for the day. My to-do list is da-da-da. At least I'm doing something. I'm not sitting here on the couch loafing. I'm not luxuriating. I'm not just reading. You know, I'm producing. I'm making it happen. So therefore, something has to happen because I'm doing all the things. Well, now you have an expectation that it all is all up to you. It has to be you. It's you. And that's a lot of pressure, and that's suffocating, energy sucking, exhausting. And then there's a setup. It's a recipe for disaster, because guess what? It's not all on you. It's not, and it can't be. It's not possible. We can't do this alone. We can't do it on our own. Yeah, you've got to show up and do the best you can on any given day. You can't just, sit there and manifest from a lounge chair and never get into action. But that's like that black and white thinking. I manifest while laying down all the time. I do it every single morning, and we're going to get into my alone time practice. But there's a balance of action and inaction. And if you're feeling irritable, discontent, miserable, in scarcity, you've got that all your money wounds, insecurities, comparisonitis coming up, you're out of balance. So when doing too much is the problem. This is what is blocking your abundance. So even thinking that you have to do more or be more is a scarcity belief. So I can hear that inner critical voice of yours saying right now, well, Tiffany, I can't just sit back and do whatever the hell I want and expect things to happen. Yes, that's true. You can't just sit back and do that always, but you absolutely should be sitting back 50% of the time and do whatever the hell you want and expect that things will happen. Yeah, 50% of the time. So be careful, that nasty inner bully, man. My inner bully, her name is Susie, and she is a bitch. And if Susie said that, if a real life Susie said the shit that I say to myself in my brain, like at Trader Joe's, homegirl would have a problem, okay? Like, there'd be an issue. Can you imagine? This is a quick exercise I wasn't expecting to share, but it's so effective, and it obviously has come up for a reason. You need to name that inner critic. You need to name that inner bully. Put a name, and it can't be a derivative of your own name. It's not you. It's not your higher self. This is an abusive person, a critical parent, someone that came from your childhood, or it's accumulation of all the people who've been mean to you or who are toxic or bullied you that you've picked up along the way. Name this person. That's why it's Susie, because that's not me. And when I address Susie, it's separating that voice, that nasty ass voice, from myself. That's not me. That's not my higher self. That's not who God intended me to be, made me to be. It's almost like it's the devil. I mean, whether you believe in that or not. You might believe it's like the darkness, right? Whatever you want to label it. But name this bitch or name this asshole. Some people, the voice in their head, their inner bully, is a male voice. Some it's a female voice. Some is like a cross between the two. But think about this. If next thought you have, and you're going to have some that come up in this episode, because I'm addressing it, I'm challenging that inner critical voice. And when you challenge that inner bully, what do? Any bully, they come back at you. They can come back at you louder. Even a real life toxic person, right? An unhealthy person, they come back at you louder when you challenge them, especially when you're challenging them with the damn truth, because they don't want you to shine. They don't want you to rise. They don't want you to feel light. They don't want you to be happy and energized and fulfilled and have options and feel so fucking good about your life and be in your power. They don't want that. They want you to remain small and trapped and miserable and less than, because then you can be controlled. So we're abusing ourselves if we continue to allow it. Now, this voice doesn't disappear. Susie's never going anywhere. She sneaks into that driver's seat, and then I've got to tie this bitch up and put her back in the trunk. And I literally visualize that. So you're going to name this person. Now, do a scenario in your head with something you said to yourself maybe this morning, today, last night, whatever, or a regular nasty ass thing you say to yourself that this person says to you. So Susie says things to me like, well, you can't just sit back and do whatever the hell you want and expect things to happen. You've got to do more, Tiffany. Look at all the other shit that people are all doing online. Like, they've got a book now and they're putting this out now, and you're not doing this, and da. If this bitch came up to me in a parking lot at Trader Joe's and said that to me in real life, and you were standing next to me, would you allow someone to talk to me like that and came up to me with that nastiness? You'd be like, who the hell is this? If this Susie came up to me in real life and said this to me, I'd be like, excuse me, where did you come from and who in the hell are you? And if she kept going, I'd be like, oh, honey, you are messing with the wrong girl. You have no idea. The Chi-Town Tiff's about to come out on you. I wouldn't let someone talk to me like that in real life, yet or to a friend or to you. Yet this can go on regularly. Some of you have this voice in that this person, which is not you, is in the driver's seat right now. I know, because mine can slip back in there. I do a lot of daily practice and daily work on myself. And I have 3 coaches to make sure that we keep Susie in the trunk. Because as soon as Susie's in that driver's seat, man, my serenity is gone. My peace of mind is gone. My creativity, my energy is zapped. My joy is zapped. It's all gone. I would love for you to take a screenshot of this episode, share it, or go share it. Like, even if you don't want to share it for whatever reason, which you should, but on social media, share it with a friend who needs to hear this episode. Pay it forward by sharing that message, whoever comes to your mind. Maybe it's your significant other, maybe it's a sister. Just share it with someone who comes to your mind. If you had a version of this thought, you're living in an all or nothing world of I can't just sit back and do whatever the hell I want and expect things to happen. Basically, anything other than constantly doing means failure to you. And this is my biggest addiction. If I left it unmanaged, it would suck everything out of my life. All the joy out of my life while sabotaging my success, and it's sabotaging you. There needs to be a balance of doing and simply being. If you find yourself living in either extreme, I can guarantee you aren't genuinely happy with your life. It is equally as productive to do as it is to be. So the energy of being is to be in a state of surrender, allowing yourself to receive, reaping the rewards of your efforts, relishing in your restorative rest time. So you hear me use the word luxuriating, right? I'm relishing in my rest time. I am luxuriating. I am actively manifesting while I'm resting, which is where I have that term, where I'm allowing to receive. I deserve to receive. I'm soaking up all the fruits of my labor. If you don't allow and consciously create that space of being and resting and time to receive, you have literally shut the door on receiving for your efforts. So if you're constantly doing and not receiving, you keep putting doors upon doors upon doors, blocking the abundance from coming in. You've got to receive. Like, another analogy would be, I'm assuming listening, you've probably had a massage before. And a good massage therapist would say, take deep breaths, relax. Some of them use essential oils. If you don't get into a relaxed state and allow your muscles to relax, that practitioner can work on you. It's very hard for them to access those knots in your muscles. It's harder for them to access those kinks in order for you to have that release. You've got to allow yourself to receive that service. Otherwise, it's not going to work. You might get a little bit of relief, but it's going to spring right back. It's the same premise here. So it's the balance of doing and being. I need you to take a non-judgmental mental inventory of your ratio from doing to being. How much have I been doing lately? How much have I been being? I would prefer you do it daily. And this is not like an hour-long process. Just take a look at it. And non-judgmental, not, I listened to the episode, what Tiffany said, and I already fucked it up today. Well, isn't that a Susie fucking thing to say? Thank you, Susie, for that. I appreciate that. Thank you for sharing it. But we're going to look at it a different way today. No, I didn't mess it up. I am learning something new, and that can take time, and I'm doing the best that I can. Thank you. Now go back to the trunk. So look at, maybe you need to reflect over a month or a week, and that feels better too, but take a look. Is it your own family life? Are you feeling resentful to your significant other, to your kids, to your business, to your job, to life, to God? You've been doing too much. But then when you are being too much, looking on that flip side, that causes a lot of restlessness, discontent, anxiety. It can cause other self-worth issues because you're not rising up. You're operating below where you could be at. You're not serving. You're not following through with your actions. And that's not good either. That's being almost in a state of entitlement. That's why I get so annoyed when I hear like, Sarah, the spiritual influencer, come to my $30,000 retreat. and release all your childhood wounds and attract more money than ever. And we're going to howl at the moon and have ayahuasca and paint on each other's naked bodies. I'm not saying retreats aren't a great thing. They are a great thing. But that is entitlement. That's spiritual entitlement. That I don't really have to do anything. I can just do whatever the hell I want, when I want, work when I want, show up when I feel like it or not, be lazy, mental loafing, have no discipline, and I can just have everything. Well, that's another form of self-sabotage. So take a look at that ratio, and that's where I use that art of the alone time. I don't care if you have 6 children. I don't care if you have 80 things going on in your life. We all can take a couple moments of alone time. I think it would be really a good practice for you to do it twice a day, even if it's 5 minutes morning, 5 minutes at night. Lock yourself in the closet, in the bathroom, bath, shower, car, parking on a parking lot. I don't give a shit. I just want you, no music. You can close your eyes or you can stare at something in nature and just be with yourself. Maybe you need to put your hand on your heart, something that feels soothing. And I just want you to practice the art of being. And maybe it's really uncomfortable to you and you need to just start by doing it a minute at a time. And that's okay. If it's so unfamiliar to you, I was so uncomfortable with this. A minute was hard for me to get through when I started doing this about, 7 years ago. Was so uncomfortable. I felt anxious. I felt itchy. You can do one of my walking meditations in my guided walking meditation series, but even just doing 1 to 2 minutes, just silence, alone, no stimulation, and just relish in the art of being. I'm going to just be for 2 minutes. I'm going to just be for a minute. I'm going to just be for 5 minutes, and allow yourself to enjoy just being. Allow yourself to enjoy that moment. I deserve to be in this state. I deserve to be still. I deserve to receive, and start practicing feeling more comfortable. And then you'll get to a point where you really love it and crave it, of being in that spot of receiving. I receive. I allow myself to have this. I deserve this. And if you're like, Tiffany, I've been doing so much of just being and not enough doing, that's okay. That doesn't mean now we go to an extreme and take away all your receiving. But you need to amp up on the doing and taking action and following through. This is something that I weave into all of my programs, is making sure that you guys have the balance of taking that strategic action, but also be in a state of being and receiving and allowing it to be fun and allowing it to be exciting and enjoyable while going after the business, while making the money you want to make, while helping the people you want to help. We design our businesses around our lives and our lifestyle, not try to squeeze ourselves and be at the mercy of our business. So many of us were taught that in corporate life, and then you guys inadvertently recreate that in your business, and you didn't mean to do it, but you've ended up that way, and it's not working. Maybe you're making money, but you're certainly not happy with it. Or maybe you aren't making any money and you aren't happy with it, and it's a mess. My 6-month ProjectME mastermind experience is what you need. But it's not for someone who isn't going, you know what, I'm going to do this damn thing. I want to be in that supportive container for 6 months. I want to know exactly what to focus on and what I don't need to focus on to scale my business and do it in a way where it's wildly fun and it's exciting and it's fulfilling and it feels good. I've purposely designed my 6-month mastermind to start this September 2022 so that you get me, my ProjectME Dream Team, plus the 15 collective, beautiful energy, brain power of the people I'm accepting into the mastermind for 2 years. You get it in 2022 and 2023 during the peak money-making season online, which is September through February. It's time to stop messing around. You need to go to the next level. You're not sure how to get there without losing your mind. You're not sure how to get there to do it in a way that's going to feel really good to you, that's going to work for your life, that's going to enhance your life instead of drain your life. You don't want to be doing it alone. You don't want to feel like you're in a vacuum. You don't want to be the only person in your family that's going after something like this. And you want to have that support. Give yourself that support. This is part of being and allowing to receive. The catch is, you've got to take the risk. You've got to make the investment. You've got to put in the effort. You've got to trust me and trust the process. But that's why I've made it by application only, so that you can apply, and then we'll decide if this is the best fit for you right now of where you're at in your business, in your life. I don't accept anyone in the mastermind who I don't think is a perfect fit, who's going to get incredible results. It's not a good look on me, and it wouldn't be fair to the collective. Now, we are still in pre-launch, but that pre-launch phase is almost over, and pre-launch pricing is $3,000 off. So the price goes up by $3,000 for those who are accepted. We already have 4 spots that are already secured from people who were just waiting, because I only launch this once a year. So they were waiting when they were seeing the last round of the mastermind wrapping up. They're like, oh my God, I want to get in. I don't want to miss my spot. Because once we launched it last time, we did the full public launch, it was sold out in 2.5 weeks. So the application, the only way to get it is to swipe up. It's in the show notes here. You can also DM me on Instagram at ProjectME with Tiffany, and I will send it to you. But those are the only 2 ways to get it right now. Again, since we're in pre-launch. But stop trying to mess around and figure all this stuff out on your own, and playing cheap with your dreams and trying this thing over there and haphazardly over there, and let's figure this out and let's take more time and see if this works. It's not working. It's not working to where you want it, and you're just delaying the results that I know you want and where you want to go. And I don't want to see that. And it doesn't happen on my watch. I'm not going to allow that to happen on my watch. And the beautiful transformations these women have had are just so incredible. Collectively, I accepted 12 people the last mastermind. Collectively, now we're well over $670,000 collectively that they've made in that time period. But it keeps growing, obviously, because everything they've learned, they've implemented, the energy, the continued support they have, they keep making more and more and more money. But think about that. Even if you divided that by 12, just think about that power, that amount of abundance when you're all collectively supporting each other and you're having that clear direction. You're finally focusing on the right shit and letting go of the shit that doesn't matter. And you don't feel alone, and you have people helping you name your programs, vetting your stuff, helping you see the holes in your business, the stuff that you can't possibly see because you're so far into it, and refining these things and making these tweaks, and then celebrating your results. Let's do this damn thing. Let's do it. But you've got to do your part. You've got to be at that part where you're like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to do this. I'm not living this, playing this small and living this way anymore. It's time for me. It's time for me to go big. It's time for me to do this thing. And going big doesn't mean more is required of me. I have to do more. I'm going to let go of that belief. You know what it is? It's less of you is actually required. Doing less is required. You can ask anyone who's worked with me. It's 99% of you actually need to strategically do less. Doing all the things is not a profitable business plan. So swipe up, the links in the show notes, apply so you don't miss out on that pre-launch pricing. And then we can determine in the application if this is a great fit for you right now. And the other way to work with me right now is if you wanted to work with me privately in my 2-month private coaching container. That's also by application only, but I only take 6 people at a time. So that is the other way to work with me. And that link is in my bio on Instagram at ProjectME with Tiffany. And we have my ProjectME Posse group coaching membership, which is only $100 a month. And that's another option. So that link is also swiping up going in the show notes. But there's multiple ways to work with me. It's a matter of what level of boss move you're going to make for yourself and how serious you are about getting to that next level and getting what you want. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.